accounts, his family, his friends, and even strangers who just had the opportunity to meet him, he seems to have been an angel walking among people. 911 caller called and reported him as acting suspicious. He was waving his arms as he walked, as he was listening to music in his earbuds. He was wearing a mask, as we all do these days, but wasn't so common back then. But he wasn't hurting anybody. And the 911 caller said as much. The 911 caller said he was not suspected of committing any crime. He was not in danger. Nobody was in danger. And Elijah had no weapon.
This is going home. I don't do that stuff. I don't do any fighting.
218 other units that are not here.
Why?
They can slow it down a little bit.
I don't do guns. I don't even kill flies. I don't eat meat.
Do we have anything other than him being suspicious?
I don't judge people. The Aurora Police Department and the city of Aurora completely exonerated them and said that their treatment of Elijah was appropriate in every respect, except for the one officer who got just a slap on the wrist was the one who threatened to bring in a dog, to sick a dog on a man who's laying on the ground vomiting. That is the one officer who got a tiny slap on the wrist, but all of them continue to work in law enforcement today. Finally, a responsible adult has stepped in, and thank goodness that the governor has shown some leadership. But honestly, should it take millions and millions of signatures across the world, international media pressure for people to simply do their jobs? This should have happened right after Elijah McClain was murdered. And the reason that you see those photos is because it was so important for his family to force people to look straight in the eye, the horror that is the police brutality that killed their son. Just as Emmett Till's family insisted that people see what it looked like when a young black man was lynched, so does Elijah McClain's family insist that the people look that horror in the eye. So the photos are difficult to look at, and they ought to be. They should be criminally charged for murdering this innocent young man. And
They should be brought to justice in the civil justice system. Unfortunately, what we've learned time and time again is that we work in a broken system where law enforcement officers are not held to the same responsibilities as everybody else. And so it's only through the civil justice system that people are sometimes able to get some modicum of justice when a jury finally hears their case. But it takes an awfully long time for that to happen, and it's a terribly painful process. Cities who murder people should quit trying to deny accountability, should step up and try to make amends immediately when they do that. Dragging a family through the litigation process in order to get justice is simply pouring salt in the wound. It's cruel and it's unfair. When a person is homeless, is suffering from a mental or a physical health crisis, is simply walking down the street in their black skin, there's no reason why they should be confronted by a militarized police force. Sometimes what they should be is left alone, like Elijah should have, and sometimes what they need is medical care. But there is no reason why police should be responding to those kinds of calls. The militarized mindset causes police to act in a way that is entirely inappropriate and non-responsive to the emergencies that most people who call 911 face.